You had a plan, a good one. You had thought everything through, looked ahead, and mapped out all the details. It felt like it was going to go like you wanted it to, and then it didn't work. Maybe it fell apart slowly, or just fell through all at once. But here's what I want to talk about today, because I think most of us skip this part too fast. What we do when something like this happens, when our plans unravel, the very first thing is we go and take a look back. We flip through every decision, every choice we made, and we want to find out, what did I miss? Where did I go wrong? What could I have done differently? Where was the wrong turn I took? And there's something I want to ask you today. What if that's entirely the wrong question? There's a habit I see in almost everyone that I talk to who's living in a disruptive season. Whatever they have planned just doesn't survive reality. I call it second guessing. You might call it something else. Maybe to you it's replaying, or to some it could be called re-litigating, taking the case back before a judge of some kind. Maybe the judge is just in your mind. Some of us do this spiritual diagnosing, maybe lying awake in bed at 2 a.m., just trying to figure out, where did it go wrong? Here's what I want you to see about this habit. It feels productive, and that's why we do it. We think if we look at something long enough or analyze it, we can find the exact moment where things got off. And so because of that, then we think we can fix it. But here's what that actually is. It's a control strategy. We go back because going back and standing in the past feels safer than being in the present. If we can find what we did wrong and locate the error, we believe that we have some power then to fix it, some power over what happens next, that we can prevent this from happening again, that the ground isn't actually as unstable as it feels. But second guessing isn't control. It's an illusion of control dressed up as self-reflection. And it keeps us stuck, not because we're weak, not because our faith is thin and doesn't hold weight, but because we're standing in a past, trying to fix something in the present that requires something completely different from us. I've been in one of those seasons recently, honestly, for about 2 months now, where just about everything that I planned and gave careful thought to fell through for one reason or another. There were things outside of my ability to predict or control. And what I've been learning slowly by going through something that nobody wants to face because it's difficult, but it's the only way you can learn things like this. What I've been learning is that the invitation wasn't to build a better plan. The invitation was to practice staying steady when the ground beneath me was shaking. And here's where I want to gently push on something most of us were taught. We've been taught that when something goes wrong, especially when we know that God was in it and we've prayed, that the spiritual response is to ask why. God must be teaching me something. There has to be something I missed. I need to look at this again and see, maybe I got ahead of God. Maybe I haven't had enough faith. Maybe I misread the signs. And I'm being careful here because sometimes we did miss the signs. God is redirecting us. Sometimes we need to pause and listen. I'm not saying every disruption is meaningless and that we just need to power through it. But I am saying there is a difference between holy reflection and anxious re-examination. And your nervous system knows the difference. You feel differently in your body and in your heart when something is sacred versus you being anxious about it. Holy reflection is a posture of open hands, of quiet listening. God, what are you saying? And then listening to see how he answers that. But the anxious examination, that replaying, it's a spinning off out of control. It's going back, looking for evidence of a verdict over and over. You want to feel like you can pinpoint the fault line so you can go fix it. One of those is a conversation where if you're quiet enough and reflective, you enter into listening with your spirit. And the other is you trying to manage in your chaotic soul. And sometimes it's hard to get outside of our soul, to connect with our spirit and to connect with the Holy Spirit and be able to hear clearly. What I've been learning is that when I'm in that quiet place inside the peace of God, that there is no second guessing. I didn't have the language for that for a long time. The thing that put it into perspective for me was on a very hard day. And I was in a conversation with someone talking about how I could see several times in the recent past where I could go and question decisions I'd made. But then that same day, a friend texted me that they were praying for the peace of God with no second guessing. And that clicked. It was this light bulb moment. Yes, that's where we need to live. No second guessing. And the part of us that lives more in that is the spiritual side of us, our spirits, not necessarily our souls and certainly not the body, although all three can. But it's in the spirit that we are more grounded and more steady. If you're in a tailspin, it can be for a couple different reasons or more. In your body, if you're feeling anxious, something is triggering the trauma that is stored there. And if you're feeling it just in your emotions or your mind or your will, that's your soul. And both are struggling when you replay things over and over, because they're trying to use that to do what only trust can do. You have to trust in order to not second guess. And you hold that gently. You hold that peace. It takes a little effort, takes a little concentration, it takes a little determination and willingness to bat away the temptation to doubt. Trust is not a feeling, it's a practice. So I want to give you something practical today. Something you not only think about, but that you actually use. And it's simple, almost too simple. But notice that when it's simple, that doesn't mean it's shallow. There's two parts to this. The first thing is that when you catch yourself spinning, you can use this phrase. No second guessing, only next steps. Repeat that phrase to yourself. Every time you catch your mind wandering into the past to try to fix something, to re-examine it, you can bring yourself right back by just saying, no second guessing, only next steps. And say it out loud because that helps to lock it in. No second guessing, only next steps. No second guessing, only next steps. This gets you looking forward, keeps you from sliding into the past. It allows you to remember to stay present and refocus your mind on what is now and what you're looking forward to. And by doing this, you're not bypassing your emotions and you're not pretending that the pain isn't real. You are making a decision about what you're going to pay attention to, about refocusing the direction of your feet, not back behind, but pointing towards where you're headed. And the second thing, which helps a little bit if your body is experiencing some sensations, is a physical posture. And this might sound a little unusual, but stick with me for just a moment. When that spiral starts and you feel yourself tempted to go back and analyze, I want you to just stop. Pause, stand still or sit still, and then lift your hands so that the palms are facing up, ready to receive something. Except in this case, you can say out loud or in your heart, I release what was and I receive what is. And the reason that this is helpful, it's not a magic formula or something you're saying to control things, because we try to do that. By stating out loud, we are attempting to control what we have come into our lives. Now, the tongue is powerful, and we do speak things that affect reality. And that's a whole nother subject, so we won't get into that here. But what this does is it helps us to stop the spin and refocus our attention. And if you can release something through that, then you'll feel lighter and more grounded and more steady. This is simply a way to posture your body so that it can also catch up with what you already know deep within, that it's okay. that you can trust God, because the God that was in the plan is still the God who's in the disruption. He doesn't only show up when things go according to schedule. And the fact that the ground beneath you is shaking is not evidence that he moved away. He's still there. That practical 2-part step I just gave you, no second guessing, only next steps, and holding out open hands to release what was and accept what is, that is only the first step on a walk that often takes a while to complete. Because one of the harder parts of a season like this is not just stopping the second guessing. It's learning to tell the difference between the voices that you're listening to, the voice that is your spirit versus the voice that is anxiety talking. It's figuring out what actually belongs to you, to grieve, to release, to rebuild, and what's not yours, what's just noise. And sometimes doing that kind of sorting is not easy to do alone. Once in a while you can, but usually it goes a lot quicker and a lot smoother when someone is there with you who can help. And if you're in a season right now where you feel like the old maps aren't working, where you had a plan and it didn't survive, and where you're standing at a point of disorientation and you're not sure which way to go next, or even which way is forward, this is the kind of work we do in a private unboxing session. It's 90 minutes, just you and me, and we go after the thing that's actually underneath, the belief that's keeping you spinning, the question that keeps pulling you back, the place where trust has gotten hard. The link is in the description. Wherever you are in this, whether the disruption is still fresh and it still stings, or whether you've been in this disorientation for a while, so much that it feels just like the weather, I want to say this clearly. You didn't miss God. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are not in some spiritual consequence that you need to earn your way out of. You are in the middle, the messy middle, and that middle is not a mistake. No second guessing, only next steps. Go steady.